All right, so welcome back, everybody. As we promised in the hour before, we're going to have 2 hours full of content for digital transformation. But this track is specifically, or this hour is specifically dedicated to the implementation of S/4HANA and also the innovations that our customers are doing in that regards. So we're going to have 2 partner talks. One is going to be from SUSE. They are going to be sharing their journey to the S/4HANA Cloud implementation. And the other one is going to be from Splunk, and they're going to be sharing their new Service Intelligence that's all about how you can monitor, triage, and also report on your SAP solutions and your entire landscape. And of course, that works with SAP S/4HANA. But before that, we wanted to kind of share a little bit of information of how you can find more information on S/4HANA. So let's say you're interested in migrating to S/4HANA, or you're just interested in S/4HANA in general. Thomas, where can we point people to find more sessions, more content, more material?
Yeah, and that's when I come with my awesome tablet again.
With a nice little back, please.
Yeah, like
It's TechEd compliant.
That's art and crafts here. So where do we find more information about if you have an interesting topic? So again, by now, you probably have seen it in the session catalog. That's where you find all the information around what is happening, when are the sessions happening. But I think it's also something new that we put lots of new features into this agenda builder or into the session catalog. So right now we talked the last hour very much about the move. So let's search if I'm interested in move to S/4HANA. And immediately I get all the sessions which are coming up. So you see this also, like it's doing a real text search here. And it's nice, like the session Tammy and Michelle just did on the community talk is on top. But then you also have partner talks, so get ready for the move. These sessions have been ended already, but you can now view the repeats in the platform. So this is great for you to always go back to the whole agenda builder, find the sessions and continue. So the other thing is what you can do is if you want to look ahead what is still live because you want to get insights and you want to do an expert chat, you can select it by date. And now, of course, I'm only getting the sessions which are coming up on December 10th. So this is still all ahead of us and 54 sessions. There's plenty for you to explore around the SAP and the move to S/4HANA. So what else, and I also wanted to point this out, is we're talking about the ecosystem, we're talking about the partners, and don't forget about our partner showcase as well. So partner showcase is, again, like over the top level menu. And that's where you find all our partners who are sponsoring, helping us in the journey here. And of course, let's search where are our partners who are featured in this hour. So we have them next to each other. So this is great. So let's have a look at SUSE. And that's where you get more information about what is they're offering. You have a little trailer in there, but also very important, it is also about their sessions. So you find all the sessions in there. You can, again, like add them to your agenda builder and build it out. And also you can follow them and make the connections with the partners. So this is great background on all of these partners. And please check them out, and I encourage you also to go to the different sessions if they are not here on channel 1, because we have quite a few here also on channel 1, which is great to see.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, as we were mentioning, we are going to have SUSE right now, and Sebastian Drews and Lars Pine are going to be sharing all about their S/4HANA cloud implementation journey. They're going to be sharing kind of their roadmap, their expectations, the bumps in the road, how they figured them out. So yeah, it's a very interesting talk. And when we come back from that talk, of course, we're going to give you our view on it and just catch up on some highlights. So check it out now.
Good day, good evening, good morning, everybody. My name is Sebastian Dreves, CEO at SUSE. I'm here with my colleague Lars Pinner, and we want to talk about best practices for moving to SAP S/4HANA in a cloud environment. The headline of the transformation that we have gone through in SUSE, and probably what describes the summary of this presentation best, is cloud computing delivers services faster. And on the next slides, I want to talk you through why speed and why fast deployment were so important in the case of SUSE and how we've made that happen. A short background on SUSE. A lot of you might actually know SUSE as a Linux distribution provider. Important to note, really, SUSE is a lot more than that. March 2019, SUSE became independent from its former mother company. And with that move, SUSE became the world's largest independent open source software company. Our purpose is to provide a digital transformation platform to all our customers and to help them run high-performing infrastructures in whatever stage of transformation they are currently in. And we were really thrilled when that move happened. It felt a little bit like a rebirth of one of the greatest software brands that I personally know out there in the world. The relationship that SUSE has with SAP is very interesting and long-lasting. SUSE is a key innovation partner for SAP, and over actually many years, more than 20 years, we have partnered to co-develop software. So maybe not fully visible to some of you, but a lot of SAP products are actually developed on SUSE Linux Enterprise, the world's best enterprise-grade Linux operating system. On the other hand, we also know that SAP is a great customer of SUSE. As an example, the Enterprise HANA Cloud, S/4HANA Cloud, runs on SUSE Linux Enterprise. And of course, with these relationships in mind and with that history in mind, you can imagine that SAP played a core role at the transformation that SUSE was and is going through. So let me take you through the journey that we embarked on back in March 2019 when we became independent. All in all, what we have done over the last month, within 474 days, we have moved SUSE from a legacy stack of close to 400 applications, many of them not maintainable, to a brand new cloud-first, state-of-the-art IT stack consisting of around 80 applications and a few core platforms. We had to go through a long journey to make that happen. We had to bring all our 2,000 employees with us on the journey. We had to bring our 10,000 partners with us, and of course all our customers that we support globally. Given that we had to run this journey in times of a pandemic and that we were really under a tight timeline due to the divestiture, as we call it internally, our carve-out from our mother company, you can imagine that this was a huge challenge, and we are very happy that we've made that happen in the end. S/4HANA Cloud is at the core of the SUSE IT value stack. When we designed the stack, we had to take a number of very fundamental decisions and agree on a few principles that help us define how our stack looks like. And let me talk you through that, and let me explain how S/4HANA Cloud actually ticks all of these boxes. The first criteria that we set out when we decided on our stack was we knew that due to the rapid time to market we had to fulfill, we had to go cloud first. Only through a cloud-based deployment approach we would be able to support the organic and inorganic growth of SUSE, right? SUSE is not a steady-state company. We're going through a massive business transformation. And S/4HANA Cloud Essentials ticks all these requirements. It's hosted in the cloud, it can be deployed fast, and it's actually run by one of our strategic partners, SAP, which was the second key decision-making criteria. Whenever possible, of course, we have the ambition to run our own software. SUSE runs SUSE. But when we have a strategic partner like SAP, it's easy to make a decision to commit to run one of our most important platforms with that partner. And that was, looking back, one of the best decisions, and I'll speak about the partnership a bit more in detail on the next slides. The last criteria that we always looked at when we made any platform and software decision was, Any platform we chose had to be fit for purpose. And this is the part where the decision for S/4HANA Cloud became most challenging for us, because we knew very early in the process that the platform did not yet support all the capabilities required in the services industry. And we addressed this very openly with SAP in the pre-sales phase, in the early discussions. And what made us commit in the end was the full backup and support from the SAP leadership team to make the platform run for us, to enhance it together with us, to co-develop it so that it can actually serve everyone in the services industry. With all these decisions in mind, you can imagine that we were very happy once we embarked on the journey and started running the overall transformation program. But as important as deciding on which applications you run, it is also important to be really clear on what are the requirements towards a high-performing infrastructure that all these platforms run on. Now, looking at the infrastructure that all these applications run on, it is crucial that every infrastructure decision we take fulfills three basic requirements. Number one, high availability. I would even call it highest availability. Maintenance weekends are a thing of the past in the best case. Scalability and elasticity. Any infrastructure we run our applications on has to be highly scalable for the organic and inorganic growth of our company, and it has to be elastic to support us during peak times. And last but not least, anything that can go wrong at some moment will go wrong, and that's when you need best-in-class support. These three elements, from my perspective, make up high-performing infrastructure, and that's actually interesting because Lars will explain to us now why SUSE is actually ticking all of these boxes and why running S/4HANA in the cloud on SUSE is actually a great thing. Over to you, Lars.
Thank you, Sebastian. Sebastian has outlined the expectations, the requirements from the Chief Information Officer's perspective towards the operating system platform. It's high availability, scalability, and elasticity, as well as best-in-class support. What does it mean in detail? Where do you look for, where do you have to look for to decide whether a platform fits for your requirements? First of all, high availability consists of several aspects. There is availability of the application as well as availability of the operating system. One point is security updates. From time to time, you have to expect security updates for the operating system. And here, particularly, the operating system kernel is of interest because normally if you update the kernel, you need to reboot, which means an out time of your application. To avoid that, there is an option that is called Linux kernel online update that helps patching without any downtime. And of course, there is regular high availability extension that helps running applications 24/7 without any unexpected, any unplanned downtime. If it comes to scalability and elasticity, of course, there is the question of what platforms are supported. And it's important that all major cloud platforms are supported as well as virtualization and any kind of on-premise implementation. Then the operating system itself has to scale as far as the application at least, or even far beyond that. The regular Linux kernel with a SUSE Enterprise operating system scales far beyond current application needs, not only for a small or medium company like SUSE, but also for the largest customers we can see or we can imagine. And of course, we have to support scale up as well as scale out scenarios. That means if a single instance does not fit the needs, does not scale as expected, then SAP allows to scale out to add more instances, and our solutions have to support that as well. If it comes to the support, we ship our operating system with 13 years support for every major version. And within that major version, we support every service pack for 4.5 years. And then very important, the joint SAP and SUSE priority support allows you to open your calls not only with SUSE, but also with SAP. Looking into that, how it is implemented in detail and to prove that it works as expected, we can now spend some more minutes onto that point. To prove that we can fix security issues without any downtime, we can look at a sample taken in the year from June 29 to 2020. And during that time, we were able to fix any security issue with our Linux kernel without need for reboot by applying the SUSE Linux live patches to that kernel. That means during that time, no kernel reboot was required to close every occurred security issue. If it comes to scalability and elasticity, it's a given, it's a no-brainer that SUSE Linux supports its solutions on any cloud platform, or any major cloud platform, as well as on-premise. So this basically is nothing you have to think about. It's a given that you can transform your workloads from one platform to the other. The operating system will stay the same. If it comes to the support cycle, to the update cycle, that is important for your planning, for the lifetime of your application, then you can rely on SUSE with this predictable and long-term support and maintenance cycles. That means you have to update the service pack only every 4 years. Every 4 years, if you do not want to do it more often, and you can even skip single service packs in between to hold the platform as stable as possible. You should not need to think about that. You can focus on your application business to keep that running without bothering with the operating system. And last but not least, the simplified support process. SUSE and SAP have designed a joint priority support that allows you to access the support resources by directly contacting SAP without the need for first finding out, is it about SUSE or is it about SAP? Just open the call with SAP and the request will be routed into the right direction by SAP itself. And we have a dedicated SUSE support team that works seamlessly together with the SAP colleagues to solve any issue. So that is some details to prove that this operating system steps completely out of the way and let you do your business without the need for thinking about different flavors of the operating system. Just choose the right one that fits every need, and that was it. So now back to Sebastian again. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lars. That was amazing. So really, really great capabilities to run S/4HANA in the cloud in the best possible way from SUSE. So what's the result of that? In the end, we in SUSE, we were able to deploy S/4HANA Cloud Essentials to more than 30 entities, 33 entities in less than 18 months. We finished in 16 months even. That is a tremendous success given the ambiguity that we had to deal with, given that we were embarking on a journey together with SAP to co-develop and enhance the platform while we were running, and given that we started to live in times of a pandemic in the meanwhile. So we are extremely happy with how the deployment went, and in the end we became independent from our mother company even a bit earlier from an IT perspective than planned, which was a tremendous success for us. So while we're very happy where we are, we've also done quite a bit of review on have we met all of the expectations that we set out when we started on our transformation journey. And in all honesty, there are areas where we have to improve further. The first ambition we had when we started the deployment of S/4HANA in the cloud was we knew that we had to embrace the cloud mindset. I think we very quickly adapted, and everyone in our organization learned how to live with a cloud environment where you have a lot of benefits, right? We get new releases of our software every few months with new capabilities that we can embrace. But at the same time, of course, we also suffer from any platform issues that would occur. And there are a few areas where SAP is heavily working on at the moment to improve the stability and reliability of the platform even further. The next expectation that we looked at in retrospective really was to what extent have we standardized and automated our business when we deployed the platform. In our mind, we have made tremendous progress when it comes to the degree of standardization we run. We have not deployed local specific requirements or solutions to local requirements other than key legal requirements and critical business needs in a few countries. That is a tremendous success for any SAP deployment in my mind. On the other hand, we know that due to the compressed timeline, we have not yet embraced all of the opportunities for automating our business processes. And that's an area we are heavily investigating at the moment together with SAP to drive even further value out of this great platform that we've deployed. I spoke about the rollout in an aggressive timeline. So we've definitely achieved all of our ambitions with regards to rollout speed. Now, the only outstanding bit is there are 2 entities, 2 countries that are not yet localized in S/4HANA Cloud Essentials, where we had to go with an offline approach first. We're working to finalize that together with SAP, and we hope that we will be done within a few months with that. I spoke about our expectation that any platform we choose has to be fit for purpose. And of course, we knew and we expected that this would be the area where we would run into the strongest challenges on our roadmap. And that was actually true. Yes, we had to deploy a few workarounds somewhere else in the stack. Yes, we had to make compromises to some degree with how we run some of our processes. But that is also the area where we have felt and we still have the strongest support from SAP, from the product management organization, from all of the different people that work with us to make us as the SAP customer successful. And we do have an influence in the customer advisory board on the S/4HANA Cloud Essentials platform, and we hope to shape the roadmap together with SAP to create an even bigger fit for purpose for us. And last but not least, we knew that we had a great partnership with SAP and we had high expectations to that. But I have to say our expectations have to a large degree already been exceeded, not only with regards to the partnership we have with SAP, but also the partnership we have with our partner Accenture. Both worked very well together. That was amazing to see for us. And of course, any relationship is not without friction, but I believe really in the end, that in the end took us where we are at the moment. So in hindsight, yes, we would do it again. We've taken the right decision, and now we have to unleash the full potential of the platform for our organization. So let me close our summary with a short quote from our CEO, Melissa Di Donato, who also reflected on the success of our roadmap and the deployment of S/4HANA Cloud Essentials, right? She says something really important. She says, due to the deployment of the platform, we are able to run our business more efficiently and with less downtime, with less issues. And if you think about it, that is actually important because that is great. It allows us to do the things we actually do best and we should do more of, which is help our customers be successful in their digital transformation journey. So thanks a lot for your time. A big thanks from Lars and myself. We're extremely happy that we got the opportunity, and come meet us on SUSE.com or meet Team SUSE on the other TechEd sessions. Thanks for your attention.
All right, so that was another great session by our partner and customer, SUSE, actually. And as promised, we are just going to wrap it up, give you some highlights of what we think was really valuable from this session. So, for example, they first started off and they said, okay, why did they start thinking about S/4HANA Cloud? Because they wanted to implement a cloud-first approach. That was very important to them because they wanted to be agile, they wanted to be flexible, and they needed to make sure that they could adapt to their growth plan, which was organic and inorganic growth. So they thought that having a cloud ERP system that was scalable, robust would be the way to go for them. And as we saw in the video, it did work out. The other benefit that they saw was the extensibility option. So again, we've been saying this for a while, but there is no software out there that covers all the scenarios. It covers every single use case and every single business-specific need that a company has. So being able to extend your software, being able to easily extend your software is something that our customers and our partners look for to be able to fit this implementation to their specific purpose. So I found that, super interesting that they decided to highlight it. The other aspect was the speed of the implementation. I think they said like 16 months.
16 months, that's what I heard. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's amazing to change your whole landscape in just 16 months. And they almost did it almost to 100%, right?
They had to basically, they were to move off from after the acquisition or getting independent. Yeah. So that's like, they had a really tough timeline to do that. And it's very impressive.
Very impressive, very impressive. And you know, the other thing I liked was their honesty in terms of the lessons learned. I mean, did they meet, you know, their expectations 100%? No, but I think in any project, anytime you take on this type of endeavor, you're always going to find, you know, little things along the way that will make, you know, bumps along the way. Let's say that you have to either navigate, adapt, and you have to adapt your expectations as well. And I think Sebastian covered that really well when, you know, he was explaining, yeah, okay, we're here, we're at 80%, this would be 100%, this is missing, that is missing, but they were really looking forward to continuing to adapt and improve their implementation of S/4HANA.
And I think it's a lot with our customers. I think like everybody who worked in projects can relate to, and I think it's often like even like at TechEd, you're like, okay, like there's certain things we still want to do, and then you're like, okay, you look at the calendar, and then you figure out we need to do that one, but that's good, and it's this trade-offs, and yeah, it's reality.
Yeah, it's so true. Like with everything in life, you have priorities. So of course, you have to analyze everything. You have to think, okay, is this more important? Is that more important? What could I get done now? And then you continue and you do that. But yeah, so again, we have a lot more partner talks, a lot more partner sessions in this year's TechEd. So Thomas showed before, but if you go to the event catalog and you go to the session catalog and just kind of filter by source, you're going to be able to select partner. And then once you have all the partner sessions, you can just use the search box and look for whatever topic you're interested in. It doesn't have to be S/4HANA, it could be something else. But yeah, so while we're on the topic of S/4HANA and digital transformation, we do have, as promised, another partner talk, and that's from Splunk. Before we deep dive into that actual session, we have a teaser video for you guys just to give you a little bit of insight into what Splunk is, what they do, and just, yeah, some information so you can get some insights on Splunk. So I'm actually excited to see this video because I haven't seen it yet.
No, I also haven't had the chance to check out all the videos. There's plenty to do.
So let's check it out now then.
And the shuttle has cleared the tower.
All right, so that was just to give you a little bit insights into Splunk. That was a very cool little overview video.
Groovy.
Yeah, groovy. I like that. You know, Grandpa here has those types of words. You know, I've been trying to not let it come out, but I'm sorry. It's the second day. You know, we're on a roll. We're having fun.
We're a late night show here.
It's just hashtag being Grassel. You know, that's
exactly.
that's people. I want that to be trending topic. So if you can, just hashtag being Grassel, I'd appreciate it. All right, but let's get back to the topic at hand. So we have a partner talk by Splunk. They're going to be talking about this new service that they developed that's available. It's called Service Intelligence for SAP Solutions. And basically, it's going to help you monitor, triage, and report on the performance of your SAP solutions and your SAP landscape. So I think what's really interesting about this solution is that it incorporates machine learning technology. So it's integrated in it so that the setup and the implementation of the service is a lot quicker. You don't have to set all the manual triggers yourself. It'll kind of understand from your landscape setup what it needs to add as triggers for the monitoring purposes, and it will do that automatically. So yeah, I think it's super interesting because at SAP, we also talk a lot about how we incorporate machine learning and AI into our solutions because that's something that simplifies it for the end user. So it was interesting to see that Splunk does that as well. So just to kind of summarize again, we have we have a huge partner ecosystem, right? And we've been saying this time and time again, innovations don't just come from us, from SAP. We count on our partner ecosystem to do that. So that means that we also want to continuously grow our partner ecosystem, which is why this year at TechEd, we do have that new track, which is partner community. And it's not just for existing partners, so it's not just to help you, continue to innovate and continue to work with SAP. It's also to find out how you can become a partner yourself. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. But without further ado, we're going to have Ram Gola and Martin Weiser talking about the new Service Intelligence for SAP solutions from Splunk. So let's check it out.
Hello, welcome. Today, we're going to talk about Splunk's new product, Service Intelligence for SAP Solutions, and how it will help boost SAP performance. My name is Ram Gola, Senior Product Manager at Splunk. Also with me, my colleague, Martin Weiser, ITOA Practitioner at Splunk. Agenda today, we're going to give you an overview on Splunk and some of the customer challenges we are addressing. And we'll go deep dive into that Service Intelligence for SAP solutions with a demo. What is Splunk? Splunk is known as a data platform built for monitoring, troubleshooting, visualizing, and analytics of any machine data in real time. Splunk has incredibly rich use cases across IT, security, DevOps, and business processes. And today we're going to talk about SAP use cases. Power of Splunk comes from ability to handle any type of data in any structure from any source and any time scale. Without a proper context, you cannot act on the data. So Splunk provides capabilities to investigate, monitor, and analyze the data to gain the context. So any structure here means logs that are unstructured to metrics from any infrastructure and application. Any source here implies both cloud or on-prem infrastructure or any application such as SAP. It also can handle the data from manufacturing devices in a manufacturing floor as well. And timescale, Splunk can be real time and handle the data in milliseconds. It can also analyze the data over months so that you can provide business answers to business critical questions. Splunk is recognized as a leader in IT operations management. That includes performance analytics, as well as AIOps and IT infrastructure management, recognized as #1 by both Gartner and IDC. Before we go into the product, I'd like to talk about some of the customer challenges. Today, IT is increasingly hybrid. So the IT infrastructure includes a lot of complexity. Without a proper tool, teams will have to struggle with the problems and performance issues. SAP sits on top of this complex IT infrastructure, also comes with its own complexity. SAP being very business critical, any impact to SAP directly impacts business. So without having a full stack view into these architectural layers, teams struggle to resolve issues and get visibility into these issues. In addition, SAP also comes with the data challenges. Any given time, a lot of ERP systems are processing hundreds of thousands of transactions and also integrated with many third-party applications like supply chain management or e-commerce applications. Providing visibility into these data issues is also extremely important, and Splunk will provide that. We'll see later in the demo. Impact of these complex environments for teams without proper tools can be very challenging. Outages can be very expensive, SAP environments, and lack of full stack visibility can impact time to resolve an issue, time to detect an issue. And siloed tools and teams, tickets may bounce between the teams, resulting in very significant incident response activities that are very expensive. Splunk is addressing these problems. Before we go into these complex IT and SAP operations require a proper, rich data platform that can scale. Splunk is that platform. On top of this platform, Splunk provides key capabilities for both IT and DevOps communities. AIOps is one we are going to discuss today. So what is AIOps? AIOps is about big data and combining this big data with AI algorithms to automate a range of IT processes that you see on the right-hand side in terms of monitoring, application analytics, as well as service insights. Splunk is this differentiated data platform that can take data from any of the infrastructure or applications and provide this big picture view for your both IT and SAPs. As we talk today, we also have direct integrations with SAP so that Splunk can understand SAP data along with the infrastructure data to provide key insights to make SAP more operational. IT Service Intelligence is a premium application that runs on Splunk, is our AIOps platform. It provides unified monitoring, troubleshooting, and action capabilities, and also provides a bridge between the business and IT across the silos. So with that, how do we do SAP monitoring? Service Intelligence for SAP Solutions is a new product, and the goal of this product is to provide visibility across SAP and infrastructure so that we can dramatically reduce the time to detect and respond to issues. As we discussed, Service Intelligence for SAP Solutions is out-of-the-box solution so that customers can deploy it and start monitoring their SAP environments. It will support both ABAP or Java and Classic, as well as S/4HANA. And it comes with out-of-the-box hundreds of KPIs that are very significant SAP operations. Also comes with the ability to monitor SAP database infrastructure as well. It is now available on SAP App Center. For more details, please take a look. As discussed, the product covers a wide range of SAP products. To support these products, we also depend upon our partner product, Power Connect for Splunk and SAP from Software One. It is also SAP certified, available from SAP App Center. With that, we'll go into the details of the product through demo. Martin will be driving that. Thank you, Martin.
Thank you, Ram. That was a great introduction. So let's jump right into the demo. As you mentioned, monitoring these SAP environments is a top priority for many of our customers. These environments represent some of the most critical business applications the customers care about. However, monitoring them is not a trivial task. There's typically several of these environments present and optimized for various use cases. Think ECC, think CRM, and all of those systems have deep interdependencies on business workflows. At the same time, these environments don't exist in a silo, but they are highly dependent upon shared infrastructure components like virtualization, like compute, like networking or storage. What we focused on was to provide a solution that allows us to overlay and correlate those shared infrastructure capabilities on top of the traditional SAP performance counters. And we want to make sure that we understand typical environment usage and allow you to also integrate into larger service management platforms. Those are all pain points that I'm sure you guys can relate to. You are often asked to watch the company's crown jewels, the SAP environment, with very, very limited technical monitoring capabilities. Now, the Service Intelligence for SAP Content Pack has been purpose-built to address these common monitoring shortcomings. Let me walk you through the demo scenario through a typical SAP pain point. In this case, it will be iDocs, and use that example to highlight the difference between monitoring specific ABAP data points or having a real-time service insights platform. Here's a typical pain point that we hear from our customers. Corporate IT implements an infrastructure change. This can often be on the compute stack, the storage, the database tier, but in this case, it's a shared network change. And they make the best guess when they do the risk impact assessment. So as they assess the risk impact, they forgot about the SAP system. So in our example here, what happens is a firewall change gets implemented and it starts blocking a specific port across the board as part of an active security threat. Now that change, unfortunately, also blocks one of the SAP integration destinations for remote function calls to send IDOCs, in this case orders and invoices, between an ERP and a CRM SAP instance. What we hear from our customers is that they typically perform these destination checks based on the checklist at least once a day. But because of a lot of competing workloads and a lot of these environments to monitor, many of these checks only get executed manually and don't have any automatic reporting capabilities. So the basis users or the basis admins often hear about that problem by business users calling about a broken or partially executed workflow, by batch jobs being hung or aborted. Now let's take a look and see how in this particular example we could use the Service Intelligence for SAP Content Pack and how the troubleshooting process would look like. Here we have a real-time view of the M74 SAP instance. No failed batch job report or customer call is needed to see that the instance is in a pretty bad spot right now. Now let's investigate one of these hotspots by looking at the ABAP integration technical service. Based on the scenario outlined before, we immediately see that the failed destinations are going through the roof. Now let me stop here for a second and elaborate on some of the core capabilities of ITSI. ITSI has several machine learning capabilities built into the platform which learn the typical behavior of an environment. Like in this case, 28 failed destinations indicates a problem. In another environment, this may be perfectly normal. ITSI typically takes about 5 days to learn these typical behavior patterns. It will then adjust the thresholds accordingly, so you don't need to manually set them or understand the usage patterns of each and every one of these performance counters across all of your environments. Let's check out another hotspot in the current health of the M74 instance. Let's look at the real-time health of our queuing system. Just like we see that the failed destinations are increasing, we also see the failed remote function calls increasing quite significantly. One item I'd like to point out here is that all of these additional symptoms are displayed in real time, giving the operations teams as much insight into the current state of the environment without having to pull completely distinct event types or datasets. As you guys know, once the queues start backing up, it's only a matter of time until the business users are impacted and outage recovery efforts significantly increase. Now let's take a look at our beloved IDOCs and check what state those are in. It is important to know that there's 2 levels of investigative data available for analysis. Within the SAP instance tree, we reduce the overall dataset of monitor key performance indicators to exactly that, key performance indicators, things that make the system tick. At any point in time, we can drill significantly deeper into those datasets, accessing details on IDOC failures or unique IDOC failures through the best practice reports in Power Connect. Power Connect is really the underlying brain of the content pack. All the different data points that are available in Solution Manager, all the different data points that are available in SAP reports are exposed in Power Connect. All the different fields from individual IDOC numbers to the status codes to the EDI partners are accessible and allow us to be used for troubleshooting purposes. But on top of that, we reduced the overall event noise to just things that are untypical for this particular environment. And on top of that, we can also see all the different event types, all the different record types, all the different symptoms in real time on a single screen. Service Intelligence for SAP sits on top of Splunk's IT Service Intelligence solution, also known as ITSI. ITSI has an event analytics capability that at the surface may look similar to Solution Manager. In there, you can acknowledge events, reprioritize them, or change the lifecycle status. You can also act on them by either triggering automated, semi-automated or manual recovery actions, or initiate a deeper and broader investigation and join individual events into larger episodes. Rather than dealing with individual alerts, ITSI clusters these alerts together and tries to present them in a way how they substantially shorten your mean time to repair. In this case, we see that this outage on the M74 ABAP system that affects TRFC, IDOCS, and the integration layer is also affecting the shared infrastructure, the networking, and the firewall tier. So if we go to our events timeline and toggle to the root cause analysis, we see that the first event actually originated from the shared IT infrastructure layer, and after that our firewall degraded. So what we will do is we will analyze this in more details using what is called a deep dive. Deep dives are used to effectively troubleshoot issues, identify the root cause of service degradations, and quickly and easily enable alerting across multiple key performance indicators. With deep dives, we automatically generate a time series view on those key performance indicators and their state at that point in time. So here we see our IDOC failures, and they were fairly low until they were not and started to increase quite significantly. What we also notice is that before our IDOCs started to increase, our failed remote function calls actually started to increase. And before those guys went, our failed destinations actually went. So in here I see first the failed destinations, then the remote function calls, and then the IDOCs degraded. Now let's take a look at the machine learning suggestion from Event Analytics and see if the root cause could literally be tracked back to the firewall tier. Now I'm going to start out looking at the shared IT, shared infrastructure tier. From there I'm navigating down to the shared networking, and then from there to the shared firewall tier. And I'm bringing in my unauthorized connections into this mix. So here I have my unauthorized connections, and I'm overlaying those. Now those show me all the unauthorized connections across all my firewalls. What I want to do is I want to basically look at specific firewalls. I happen to know that my SAP instance sits behind the BizApps 01 firewall. And looking at this graph here, I see that all my different VPN concentrators, my database backbone, my database segment, my backbone, all the firewalls are doing good, but the one alert that I have is on the BizApps firewall. So it looks like there I have a lot of unauthorized or blocked connections. So before we go down the rabbit hole too far, let's see if we can increase our root cause investigation confidence level by looking at even more data points. Let's see if there was a scheduled change on that firewall. ITSI allows me to overlay and correlate ServiceNow change requests. So in this case, let me pull up the change requests and see if I can make sense out of this before the system started to go haywire. So here we have a change implemented on the firewall. It's a global firewall rule change, an access control list change. I can look at the details. I see who implemented this change. And I see after this change got implemented, my unauthorized connections spiked, my failed destinations, my remote function calls started to fail, and then my IDOCs started to avoid communication to the various endpoints. Now with that information, I have enough to take this episode, send it over to the corporate NOC, and include all the details that helped me here in this troubleshooting effort to help them resolve this very quickly. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to acknowledge this episode, which puts me into the assignee, puts this into progress. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm immediately going to send this to my incident management system, to ServiceNow, so I can very quickly, very efficiently integrate into the corporate ticketing systems. What we heard from many of our customers is that integrating into the larger service management environments, into the larger service management processes is a must. Out of the box, we integrate into ServiceNow, BMC Remedy, Cherwell, and Atlassian's Jira. So with that, let's jump into the key takeaways. We took a look at the real-time monitoring capabilities of ITSI for SAP. We also took a look at end-to-end visibility, meaning how we can overlay SAP performance data on top of infrastructure performance data, on top of ABAP counters, and so on. We also looked at how easy it is for administrators to get the solution up and running. There's no need to manually adjust thresholds. The system learns all of this on its own. And the final takeaway is we obviously want to make sure we fit into the larger service management processes. So with that, we have out-of-the-box integrations into all the major service management providers. Now, the solution itself is available for on-premise and for SAP Cloud customers, so the support matrix is very big. And you can find more about the solution on the SAP App Center. So with that, thank you very much for your time. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
All right, so that was another great lecture by our partner Splunk. And I have to say, I really love when they incorporate demos into the lectures because it just, it gives you that extra deep dive kind of like almost hands-on experience, even though it's not hands-on, but at least you can see everything that's going on and you can understand a lot better how that functionality works. So I think it was very cool that they were able to incorporate that. But yeah, so again, main takeaways or key takeaways for me was really that machine learning integration. I found that, if it's super easy to implement and just to set up and start using, I think that's the best thing that you can have. But they did mention at the end of the video that their service is actually available, so it's GA. And we were thinking that we could show you, Thomas and his trusty tablet could actually show you guys how you could find not only the Service Intelligence by Splunk, but also all the other offerings that our partners have available. So Thomas, take it away.
Yeah, so what was mentioned right now in the video was also where to find more information about it, and there was a word, SAP App Center. And so I want to have a look and explore a little bit the SAP App Center. This is basically where we have a lot of our almost all the partner solutions out there. And just to help you to show around, so since we just had the session with Splunk, let's see if we find it in the App Center. So I do a text search, always prefer text search. I'm just a text search. I'm not a navigation guy. Don't call me old. I'm just like a modern text search. So,
of course.
And of course, here's the Splunk Service Intelligence for SAP solutions. So this is what we also just heard about it. And what it gives the partners, but everybody, and it's more important also for the customers, is the way to explore what these solutions have to offer. So you get a detailed look into all the activities. Of course, there's also often a video attached to walk you through, to get a high-level overview, the benefits, etc. So everything you would expect to get a good overview around the solution. And so we have seen a lot of these things right now in the video from Splunk, so that's good. You also have sometimes the pricing information, if there's like a fixed pricing information, but in other cases, like in this one, you can contact or get in touch with the partner, with the publisher to learn more about it. So I think these are the opportunities for everybody in the customer space. And these are the details. So how do I deploy it? What's the security, configuration, compliance? So this is also what we are looking at the partner ecosystem provides us, because this is ultimately the questions everybody wants to understand. How do I have this in compliance? What's the security, etc. coming up? Next let's have a look at some other solutions. Any idea? There's some preferences, maybe?
SAP Cloud Platform, maybe we could look for that.
Let me go via navigation. So that's SAP Cloud Platform. I know that's in the Business Technology Platform, SAP Application Development, and we can now search down into SAP, typing Cloud Platform. There we have it.
There it is.
And now I can see all the solutions which are also working for the SAP Cloud Platform or in correspondence with the SAP Cloud Platform. There's, of course, also more things. We always love something free. I talked yesterday about the free trial and the free tier. So let's see what partners also offer our customers for free. And there's still like 23 solutions which you can explore. So this helps you to go deeper, get a first impression around it, and get an overview around it. We also had earlier this year a solution and where we worked with partners, so also check that one out. Just type in COVID-19. And then there's also solutions which the partners provided around COVID-19. There's also a blog on the community and a listing of all these partner. It's not only product solution, also like service solutions. So very comprehensive on what our partner ecosystem provides, and very proud about our partners doing that.
Yeah, definitely. So it's basically, it's a catalog of everything that our partners offer. And it's great also if you're looking to become a partner with SAP, you see that we have this, this excellent kind of marketplace structure already set up for you to be able to commercialize the solutions that you build with us. So yeah, excellent. And leading into that, we mentioned before there is a specific partner community track at this year's TechEd, and it gives information for existing partners. So there are sessions on, how to continue to innovate with SAP. But there's also information how you can become a partner with SAP. So we also have a short little video to show you guys, and it's from your friend, I think. Right?
It's Jagdish. Yeah,
Thomas knows everybody at SAP, so they're all friends of Thomas. But yeah, let's cue the video and see what Jagdish has to say.
The pace of technology innovation has never been faster before. Partner innovations have been increasingly important to SAP's customers. In fact, we are going to triple the number of high-value partner innovations we are going to bring to our customers by 2023. Hello, my name is Jagdish Sahasrabudhe, and I am the Chief Technology Officer at SAP's Global Partner Organization. I welcome you all to the Partner Community track at SAP TechEd. Our track covers a diverse range of topics to help partners successfully deliver the innovations our customers need. If you're an existing partner or interested in joining SAP's ecosystem, if you're integrating, building, or embedding SAP technology in your solutions, we have the information you need. We'll show you how to use SAP's business technology platform to further your innovations to the market. Join me, SAP experts, and the SAP community online at SAP TechEd.
All right, so that marks the second hour of our digital transformation topic. So again, all the information available also in the specific tracks. So go over to the event page and please check that out. And we'll be back in the next hour with my favorite topic. I think some of you might already know what it is, but I'll just say it. Application development and integration is up next. So stay tuned and see you soon.